Hi everybody, here's a little tutorial on how to copy information from a previous course. So I'm on an old course shell here, but let's say I have my new course shell and an awesome teacher, an awesome friend has shared their previous course with me, or I taught it maybe in Quad 1, and lucky me, I can copy some of that content over. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go up to this little image, and I'm going to click on Import Copy Components. So now what I want to select is I want to copy components from another organizational unit, and then I'm going to go to Search for Offering. And I'm going to select ENG. I'm just going to select 1D to see what shows up. So you can see this is another awesome teacher who's shared his materials with me. So I can now actually copy everything that he shared, which is amazing. But let's say I don't have that awesome teacher friend, I can maybe copy my own course. So I'll select the NG for you. And I'm going to go find one that has content. So I believe it's going to be this one. And now I'm going to go down to add. Okay, so now I have the option to import all my components if I want to copy everything from the course, or select components. So let's say I want to copy the content but not the assignments because I'm going to do something different, or I want to copy the course appearance but maybe not the content. So I'm going to copy the course appearance. I'm going to copy the grade settings. I'm going to copy the content. I'm going to leave the content. I'm going to copy my grade settings, and I'm going to copy my course appearance, or maybe let's do select there and copy all my content. Okay, continue. Continue. So this is letting me select things from my course appearance. I'm going to select the banner, but not the setting. And it looks like it's all ready. So I'm going to go finish. Okay, my copy is completed. So now I'm going to go course home. All of the content from my previous course now handily appears preloaded, and so much of my work is done for me. Hi everybody, I wanted to show you a couple of ways that you can customize your courses. So I'm going to open up my new course and just show you a couple of ways that I've tried to add some extra links for students. So if you go up here is your nav bar, and these are all the standard links, but there's some really helpful ones you can add in, like rubrics or link to your Zoom meetings, especially if you want to make different Zoom meetings instead of just giving the same one. You can make them by date, or you could have like a recurring afternoon Zoom link and then a morning Zoom link if you have different purposes for them. So you can add your Zoom right there so that it appears when students come onto the page and they can just click. They have some links of things that are already pre-done that you can add, like the rubrics and the grades. You can also add some customized things. So for example, I added my classroom interactive hub where I've got links to course outlines and little PDFs of some of the stories and that kind of stuff. I also added here D2L help. So if kids are having trouble, it goes right to the e-learning D2L help page. And I added a link to our class Flipgrid. So let's go and see how you add those links. So you're just going to click on these three dots, and you're going to go edit this nav bar. And this will give you all the links that you already have. And then you can go down and add links. This is where you can see some of the ones that are already pre-done for you. So maybe if you're doing an ELL class, you might want to add something like Capstone, which has some great e-texts. and it has both fiction and nonfiction. So there's some science and geography readings available there. You can add checklists so that you can create kind of tasks for kids to fill out. Lots and lots of really great resources here. This is where you can find that D2L help if you find that is useful, or if there's anything that you use a lot in your course, maybe an outside app like Gizmos or something like that. So these are all the ones that are already added in, and you can see some of them are things that we have on our virtual library, and it'll just take the students automatically to that link. Toronto Public Library is there as well. Tumble Books has really great ebooks. This is where you'll find the Zoom link. So if you find one that you want to add, you simply click on it and go add, and now it's there. And you go save and close, and you're good. You can also add a link that's not there. Let's say there's something that you want students to visit all the time. You're going to click Create Custom Link, enter the name that you want to appear. So let's say I have my students do some audio recording where they have to explain some of their slides. So let's say I want to create a link to the online voice recorder. And I'm just going to go in and find that link really quickly. And paste it in. I can add a description. And you can add an image if you want and just upload it from your computer, or you can leave it and it will just create a generic image for you. Now you simply click on it and click add. Here's one more Brightspace hack. This has to do with the appearance of your page in the center as well as on the side. These are all called widgets. And there are some widgets that come preloaded, and there are some that you can add yourself for anything that you think students need to access all the time. So I took a couple of the widgets away and then added a couple as well. So what you need to do to alter the widgets is you're going to scroll down to the bottom and click on the three dots. It's a little bit more involved than adding things to the nav bar, but it's not terribly hard. So what you need to do, this is the way that my widgets appear. And for example, if I want to maybe change the order, like I want my calendar to appear at the top, I can do that. These are some that I added in, which I'll show you in a minute. And I can also move around the widgets here. And I can also change the layout if I want it to look equal or if I want one to look smaller. So in order to do this, you actually have to create a copy of the course default page. So I'm just going to go first actually to a page where I didn't do that yet. All right, so back to my widgets. So the first thing that I need to do is I need to create a copy of the course default page. So I'm going to click here on course default, and then I'm going to right click. And I'm going to click copy. So now I'll be able to make the changes that I want. I do want to make sure that what is showing up is that copy. So I'm going to apply that on what is showing up as my active homepage. Now I can go in here and I can add and move around my widgets. So I'm going to add a couple of widgets that are pre-done for me. So I'm going to add in land acknowledgement. I'm going to add in maybe it's called role switch. You can do this up in the settings, but this actually makes it much easier. It just allows you to then go to view it as a student. So I like to have that on my widgets. Okay, so now I actually want to create a widget. So I'm going to save and close it. And now I'm going to go into the widgets. And I'm going to go create widget. So this is where I can create a custom widget. Maybe it's something that I have students go to all the time. So here's a book site. Maybe I'll link that in. So I'm going to link in Epic Books, write a description. And I'm just going to find that link really quickly. So I'll go to my content now, and this is just like adding in content on any other page. And I'm just going to add it in as a URL. I can add more complex things in here if I wanted to do something like an interactive hub and I enter an embed code. I can do that as well. To enter embed codes, you want to go in here, and that's where you can enter that, and it just allows it to update and it allows bigger files. And I'm just going to include a simple click and go save and close. So now I've created the widget, but I have to also add it to my homepage. So that's the one piece that's maybe a little bit more complicated, but once you do it a couple of times, it's fairly easy. So now when I go to add widgets, the one that I just created should be there. So I can now just click it and go add. And now I can go save and close and go back to my homepage. And now you should see all of the changes that you've made. So for example, there's my land acknowledgement. Here's my role switch. So you can see I can view it as a student. So I can check all my links. And here's my links to Epic Books. So it's really handy if you have somewhere that you want students to visit often. And again, if you want to make it a little bit maybe personal or fun, you could do things like add class lists from Spotify, or a list of brain breaks that you guys are going to do together, or a link to maybe some great yoga. So anything you want to add to make that page yours. Hopefully this was helpful.